Let's talk about toxic managers. This is something that just blows my mind every time I see it. I've seen this happen multiple times where a manager just fires people one after the other. So you have this kind of this rolling, hot chair of people that come in and go away, and they get fired pretty quickly. Managers doesn't seem to ever ask themselves the question, why are we losing so many people on this team? And then there's a few other things that show up. We notice that these type of toxic managers, they don't want their team to ever talk to their managers or anybody senior. They're kind of trying to control the communication. We see patterns where basically the same kind of patterns that we see in dating, right? We see gaslighting, where you're trying to convince the manager is trying to convince their employees that one thing is actually another. If they do a good job, they'll tell them, no, this is actually you messed up. So they completely focus only on the negative. These toxic behaviors are so dangerous, especially for managers, because they are going to impact almost the whole organization, right?
Absolutely.
Have you seen these toxic behaviors? What do you do when you kind of figure out, like, holy cow, we have a toxic manager?
You just, these are challenging situations, right? Like if there's a toxic manager, you know, they themselves are dealing with so much shit personally that they're just trying to hold it all together, right? It's like they know that they're not capable of doing that job, so they're gonna just start churning through to find who's gonna help me do my job so I look good and you're not good enough, so you get out. But if their manager is not questioning it, well, shame on them for not being a good manager, right? So see what happens is it just trickles down. So that manager is hiring somebody in their image, and then you get that next one who is hiring in their image. It becomes a process of just complete disarray and breakdown.
So one of the best ways to find out if your manager is toxic is if the way
Mhm.
they communicate downwards is completely different than the way they communicate upwards. So these toxic managers will basically completely suck up to their managers, but then they'll be very critical of their team and employees. You see these toxic managers taking credit from their employees and
Yep.
then blaming them for things that go wrong. You said that sometimes, or many times, I don't know, I'll let you elaborate. These toxic managers are actually incompetent. They're
Uh,
weak in some way.
yeah, they're weak in some way, and then as a result, they're just starting to make stuff up around them to support the pain that they're feeling internally of I am not good enough. So if they believe that they can't do it and they're creating things that aren't right, well then they're just it's just kind of it spreads. So they're
Yeah.
incompetent, right?